Is Decatur a great place to live? If you're considering a move to the Metro Atlanta area and you want great schools and a cool vibe, Decatur should be on your list. However, just like everywhere in Metro Atlanta, every area comes with its pros and its cons. And today I am breaking down what's good and what is bad about living in Decatur so that you can make the best decision possible when it comes to your move. Also, stay until the end because I'm going to give you my favorite Decatur restaurant and my favorite Decatur neighborhood. It's so charming.
Riverina Romano is my favorite. Oh my god, that's so hot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right, so first we have to start with where is Decatur? So Decatur is about 6 miles east of downtown Atlanta. So if you are working in Atlanta, working in the city, Decatur is a natural place for you to consider. Decatur is home to several of Atlanta's most beloved institutions and some that you've definitely heard of before too. The CDC rings a bell from all those COVID years in the news, then you'll be happy to know that the CDC is based here in Decatur. You also have Emory University and the Emory Healthcare System, as well as Agnes Scott University. Decatur 30030 is comprised of 11 neighborhoods, and those are Decatur Heights, Medlock Park, Druid Hills, Lenox Place, Westchester Hills, Sycamore Ridge or Old Decatur, the East Ponce Corridor, or some people call it Glenwood Estates, Oakhurst, College Heights, Midway Woods, and the city center of Decatur. So before we get into the first pro, I just want to share with you, who are the people who are looking to move into Decatur? So I used to live in Decatur, and we moved into Decatur when we wanted to get out of that condo living, and we actually wanted to have a single family home. It's an area that has great schools. You have a lot of fun stuff to do in Decatur, and it's convenient if you need to commute to the city or Buckhead or some of the other places like that. Which brings me to my first pro, and that is going to be all of the locally owned businesses. I know that we all love to support locally owned business, but if you are a true fan of helping your neighbor, Decatur is a great place for you to call home. You have some of the area's best restaurants, best boutique shopping, best locally owned bookstores, coffee shops, and things like that. My favorite bookstore though in City of Decatur has got to be Brave and Kind. This is the sweetest little bookshop for children. If you care about being in an area where you have really unique places to shop and eat, then Decatur could very well be the place for you. Now let's flip over to what might not be so great about living in Decatur, because again, you're gonna get both sides from me. I've lived there. A big con in Decatur is that there's no easy interstate access. Decatur is a fantastic town, but it is kind of swimming in a sea all on its own. You have 85 that's nearby. You've got 285, 75, forget it. It's gonna be further away, but it could take you depending on where you're at in Decatur, it could take you a solid 15 minutes before you hit an interstate. And so if you're commuting to, maybe different parts of Atlanta or certainly North Atlanta or South Atlanta, then you just know that you're gonna add some commute time, and it's not gonna be interstate commute time. It's gonna be stop and go, red light every mile kind of commute time. All right, let's go back over to a pro, and this is a reason why so many people stay in Decatur and certainly move to Decatur, and that's gonna be the fantastic public schools. And you've got great elementary, great middle, and a great high school. And speaking of, there's only one high school, that's Decatur High School. You have one middle school, and then you have several elementary school options. In Decatur, the average student to teacher ratio is only gonna be 12 kids to 1 teacher. And in some areas of Atlanta and certainly Metro Atlanta, that's going to be 15 to 1, if not 18 or more to 1. So you've got really small ratio sizes. Also, Decatur City Schools consistently rank in the top 5 in the state for SAT scores. So this is a school system that's not only going to support your child from the very beginning, but it's going to make sure that your child is also as prepared as it can possibly be for college. So now let's go to our second con, and that is going to be crime. But let me start it with this. Decatur is a generally safe town to live in. I would feel comfortable letting my kid walk from one of these neighborhoods that I've already mentioned to Decatur. And it's certainly a safe town compared to other areas in the state and certainly the US. Violent crime is very low in Decatur. For example, just over 1 out of 1,000 people will be involved in a violent crime in city of Decatur. However, your chance of being a victim of a property crime is higher than the state average. So your chances of being involved in something like that is going to be 27 out of 1,000. So overall, safe place to live, but just like any other, city, especially this close to Atlanta, you're going to have some heightened crime that you just need to be aware of. Time for pro number 3. This is something that Decatur takes very serious. Drum roll, literally, and it is its music scene. Decatur has a fantastic music scene. And we can't talk about Decatur music without talking about Eddie's Attic. It is an institution in Decatur. Eddie's Attic opened in 1991, and it has seen the likes of John Mayer, Indigo Girls, Widespread Panic, and a ton of other bands play there. Now, also too, what's really great about Decatur is when the weather is warm, you are going to have concerts on the square almost every weekend. And you have music festivals as well. So you've got the Amplify Music Festival that comes every week. You also have Porch Fest, which I really love. All right, let's roll into the third con. And this is something that when you've heard my pros and cons list for different areas of Metro Atlanta, this seems to make every con list. And it is the affordability of housing, or the lack thereof is really what I should say. Decatur is an expensive place to live in. If it's 30030, you're going to be spending an average of $800,000 for a single family home, but homes can go much higher than that. Also, if you're looking for a condo or a townhome, this is actually where you can actually save some money. If you're looking for a 2-bedroom condo, you could pick one up for about $400,000. If you're looking for a brand new townhome, you could get that for about $550,000. As of this recording, that's May of 2024, the median sales price for Decatur was $810,000 for a single family home, and that's up 3.3% year over year. And if you really want new construction, you can get that in Decatur, but it is going to be over $1 million in most cases. However, I've got a little secret for you. If you want to live close to downtown Decatur, but you can't afford an $800,000 to $1 million price tag, then all you have to do is go a couple miles north into North Decatur. So North Decatur is still DeKalb County, and it's still Decatur, but it's not City of Decatur. So you're not getting the City of Decatur property taxes, and you're getting a lower median home price. In North Decatur, which is just about 10 minutes away, max from downtown Decatur, you're going to be spending around $500,000 for a house, and you can get them a little less than that. Of course, you can go up from that as well. Plus, in North Decatur, you're actually closer to the interstate. So, there's a pro for going to North Decatur as well. Pro number 4, and you cannot talk about Decatur without talking about the amazing architecture that you're going to find in the homes and in the businesses. So homes in Decatur were built from the early 1900s, obviously, and up. You can get new construction as well, but the sweet spot is going to be that 19-teens architecture up until about the 1940s. So you have a lot of that craftsman bungalow type of home that's been built in Decatur, which gives you those great front porches, which we just talked about in another pro. Another bonus of living in a town where the homes are so much older is some of these were built before parking garages were, kind of the norm. And that's what gives you these amazing front porches where the garages are centered in the back and you've got front porch in the front. And couple that with tree-lined sidewalks and tree-lined streets, then you have one of those iconic, idyllic American neighborhoods that, a lot of people want to live in. All right, let's head over to our fourth con. And we're keeping with the theme of expensive. And we can't talk about Decatur without talking about property taxes. It's expensive to not only buy a home in Decatur, but to continue living in it every year because you have city taxes and you have county taxes. Now, while DeKalb County is not as high as Fulton County and Gwinnett counties, it is a more expensive area to live in. And if you have a home in the city of Decatur for $800,000, or that's valued at about $800,000, you can expect your taxes to be about $13,000 a year. However, again, going a little further north into that North Decatur area, that could save you some money there because like I said before, you're not going to be paying city taxes there. This is unincorporated Decatur. So it's, again, that kind of nice little pocket of Atlanta where you can save money but still be close to everything. My final pro for Decatur, and honestly guys, there's more than 5 pros for City of Decatur, but I'm going to end it on this one, has got to be the festivals at Decatur. My very first festival in Decatur was the Decatur Book Festival. It started in 2006 and has been going strong ever since. And it is a place where authors from all over the country and frankly all over the world can come and speak and read. And it's just a beautiful weekend where neighbors get together and they show some love to the authors and to the small bookshops that are in and around Decatur as well. There's also other festivals. I mentioned earlier, there's Porch Fest that happens. You've got spring festivals, you've got the Decatur Arts Festival as well. You have so many festivals depending on the season of year. So the final con I have about living in Decatur, and this is something that if you ask residents, they will absolutely agree, and that is going to be parking. You're going to have parking at your home, either on the street or in your driveway, or if you're lucky enough, in a garage. But when it comes time to get down into City of Decatur, that is going to be where the nightmare can begin. There's just very limited parking in the downtown commercial area in Decatur. And honestly, some businesses have even left due to the limited parking. Now, Decatur does have a parking deck, but very often it's full because you've got the courthouse right there as well. And when you can't find a spot, then you're gonna obviously be walking a little further than you probably wanted to get wherever you're going. And whether you're just pulling in to pick up some food or pick up something else, there's gonna be a minimum parking fee, which is around $3 or so for City of Decatur. That wraps up 5 pros and 5 cons. That gives you a little bit of insight in what's great about Decatur and what can be challenging about living in Decatur. Now, as I promised, I wanted to tell you my favorite restaurant in Decatur and my favorite neighborhood. So my favorite, I'm actually gonna give you 2 restaurants. My favorite place to start date night, it has to be Kimball House. It has the craftiest cocktails, the coolest bar scene, and it's kind of, it's got this like 1930s Art Deco decorations. It is absolutely stunning. But we can't talk about Decatur restaurants without talking about what I feel like is just an absolute, you gotta go to this place if you're going to Decatur, and that's got to be Leon's. All right, so Leon's, it's technically called Leon's Full Service because it's in a converted gas station, which I remember it was when it was that gas station. But it has just regular kind of American food, cocktails, plus it has a bocce court. I love Leon's for lunch. Dinner is great as well, but it has a fantastic lunch menu. So now that I've told you where you need to go eat and drink, I'm gonna tell you where you need to go walk it off, and that's gonna be Oakhurst Village. Oakhurst Village is one of my favorite neighborhoods in Decatur. It's close to my heart. I used to live there before we moved to the burbs. It has its own little funky energy. You've got beautiful homes built in the 1930s and 40s. You have a great walkability, and you have your own little neighborhood spots. You've got a great coffee house, you've got a great established pizza place, Moe's. You've got Universal Joint that is, again, just a Decatur establishment. It's so classic, among newer places as well. So I hope this list has helped you. What did I leave off? If you moved to Decatur from outside of Metro Atlanta, tell me why you picked Decatur in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe, hit like, and the notification button so that you can see more videos.